the sea. She's a beautiful thing, but she's got a temper. Out here, the weather isn't just a conversation starter. It's the difference between life and death. For a fisherman, a storm isn't just rain and wind. It's a monster that wakes up from the deep. It can turn a calm, flat ocean into a mountain range of angry water in just a few hours. We work on a deck that's already moving, but when a storm hits, it's like trying to work on the back of a bucking bull. The danger is real. It's not something you see on TV and forget. It's cold, it's loud, and it wants to take everything you've got. People on land see a storm warning, and they stay inside. They make a cup of coffee and watch the rain from their window. For us, there's no running. Sometimes you're hundreds of miles from the nearest shore. You can't just pull over and wait for it to pass. The waves start to build, getting bigger and bigger. They crash over the bow, sending tons of freezing water across the deck. Everything gets coated in ice. The boat gets heavier. Every piece of gear, every rope, every railing becomes a weapon waiting to knock you off your feet and into the black water below. I remember a storm back in the 90s. The waves were so big they were breaking over the wheelhouse. 40, maybe 50-foot seas. You look out the window and all you see is a wall of green water coming at you. It feels like the whole ocean is going to swallow you whole. The noise is something you never forget. It's a constant roar, a combination of the wind howling like a demon and the waves smashing against the steel hull of the boat. It sounds like a train wreck that just doesn't stop. You feel every hit, every shudder, right in your bones. The biggest fear isn't just the waves, it's what they do to the boat. A rogue wave can hit you from the side and roll you over in an instant. The ice buildup is another killer. If too much ice collects on the rigging and the pots, the boat becomes top-heavy. It can lose its balance and capsize. That's why we're out there with sledgehammers, in the middle of the storm, just trying to knock the ice off. It's a fight for every inch, a battle against the weight that wants to pull you down to the bottom. The sea doesn't care if you're tired or scared. It just keeps coming. Before we even leave the dock, we're watching the weather. We have satellites, we have charts, we have forecasts. We study them like our lives depend on it because they do. You look for the signs, a drop in barometric pressure, a change in the wind's direction. You learn to read the sky, the color of the water, the way the birds are flying. You develop a sixth sense for it. But the ocean is unpredictable. A storm can change course. It can grow stronger than anyone predicted. So you prepare for the worst always. You double-check everything. You secure every loose item on deck because anything not tied down becomes a missile. When you know a big one is coming, the whole mood on the boat changes. The joking stops. Everyone gets serious. The first thing you do is get the gear secured. You stack the crab pots and lash them down with heavy chains and turnbuckles. You want the boat to be as stable as possible. Then you tell the crew to get some rest if they can, because you know nobody will be sleeping once the real fight begins. As the captain, I'm in the wheelhouse, my hands on the wheel. My job is to keep the bow of the boat pointed directly into the waves. You have to ride them, one after another. You can't let one catch you on the side. Being in the wheelhouse during a storm is the loneliest place in the world. You're watching the radar, watching the waves, feeling the boat. Every creak, every groan of the steel tells you a story. You're constantly making calculations. How fast is the wind? Which way are the swells coming from? You're using the throttle, steering the boat, trying to find a rhythm with the ocean's fury. It's a delicate dance with a giant. You push too hard, you can bury the bow under a wave. You don't push hard enough, you can lose steering and get turned sideways. That's the one thing you can't let happen. There are times when the waves are so big they just wash over the entire boat. It goes completely underwater for a few seconds. The windows of the wheelhouse are covered in green water, and for that moment, you're blind. You're just holding on, trusting your boat, trusting your instincts. And then the boat shudders and shakes its way back to the surface, shedding the water like a dog. You take a breath, and then you see the next one coming. It's a battle that can last for days. It's exhausting, mentally and physically. You just have to stay focused and keep fighting one wave at a time. Out here, your crew is your family. You have to trust them with your life, and they have to trust you with theirs. When a storm hits, that bond is tested. Teamwork isn't just a nice idea. It's the only thing that gets you through. Everyone has a job, and everyone has to do it without being told. The greenhorns learn fast, or they don't last. You see a guy struggling to tie down a top. You don't watch, you jump in and help him. You're constantly looking out for each other. A simple shout of "look out" can save someone from getting washed overboard by a wave they didn't see coming. I had a crewman once, a young kid, get his leg tangled in a rope just as we were setting pots. A wave hit and it started pulling him toward the railing. Before I could even yell, two of the other guys were on him, one cutting the rope with his knife and the other grabbing him by his jacket. They pulled him back just as his boots went over the side. That's what I'm talking about. It's instinct. You don't think, you just act. You protect your brothers. You're a team, a single unit fighting the ocean together. Every man knows his role and performs it perfectly, even in pure chaos. The tools we have are important. We wear survival suits, also known as immersion suits. They're big, ugly orange suits that can keep you alive in freezing water for hours if you go overboard. We have life rafts that can automatically inflate. We have EPIRBs, which are emergency beacons that send a distress signal to satellites. But all the best equipment in the world doesn't mean a thing if you don't have a good crew. A man's skill with a knot, his ability to stay on his feet on an icy deck, his courage to face a wall of water. These are the most important tools on the boat. Communication is key. It's loud out there, with the wind and waves. We use hand signals. We yell. In the wheelhouse, I'm on the radio, talking to the crew on deck, letting them know when a big set of waves is coming. I'll tell them, "Hold on, we got a big one coming," so they can brace themselves. You have to be each other's eyes and ears. Every man is responsible for himself, but he's also responsible for the man next to him. That trust, that unspoken understanding, is forged in the fire of these storms. It's a brotherhood you won't find anywhere else on Earth. So, why do we do it? Why do we leave our families and go out to face these monsters? People ask me that all the time. It's not an easy question to answer. Part of it is the money, sure. It's a way to provide for our families, to build a life. This job can pay well, but you earn every single penny of it with sweat and risk. You're gambling with the sea, and sometimes the payout is big. But if it was just about the money, most guys would have quit a long time ago. There are easier ways to make a living, and a lot safer ways, that's for sure. The truth is, it's more than a job. It's a calling. It's in your blood. Many of us come from a long line of fishermen. My father was a fisherman, and his father before him. The sea is part of who we are. There's a freedom out here that you can't find on land. It's a feeling of being your own boss, of pitting yourself against the raw power of nature. When you've battled a storm for 2 days straight, and you come out on the other side, exhausted and bruised but alive, there's a sense of accomplishment that is hard to describe. You faced the worst, and you won. There's a pride in this work. We're feeding people. The crab we pull up from the bottom of the ocean ends up on dinner plates around the world. There's an honesty to it. It's hard, physical labor. You can't fake it out here. You either have what it takes or you don't. The sea finds you out pretty quick. It's a life of extremes. Extreme danger, extreme hard work, but also extreme beauty. I've seen sunrises at sea that would make you cry. I've seen whales breach right next to the boat. You get to witness a part of the world that most people will only ever see in pictures. Ultimately, we do it because we are fishermen. It's our identity. The salt is in our veins. The roar of the ocean is our soundtrack. It's a dangerous life, and we have lost good friends and family to the sea. We never forget that. But we also know that this is where we belong. Facing the storm is part of the deal. It's the price we pay for this life. A life of challenge, of brotherhood, and of a profound connection to the wild, untamable heart of the ocean. And for us, it's a price we're willing to pay. We wouldn't have it any other way.